Coming up on World's Greenest Homes. In Sweden, an amazing off-the-grid house that expands like an accordion.
It's like a box for matches. If you slide it out, that's basically the principle of it.
And in Texas, how high-tech helps keep this home cool.
What's amazing is the energy you save. When these shades are closed, you can turn off the air conditioner.
I'm Emmanuel Beliveau. Come with me on World's Greenest Homes and see the most extraordinary homes on the planet. Homes that are gorgeous, cool, and green. Austin, Texas. You know it for its lively music scene, but it considers itself one of America's greenest cities. I'm here in Austin, the capital of the state of Texas. It's here that one couple went looking for that perfect house. Instead, they found one that needed a lot of work, but it had two great selling points: location and its green features. Here, temperatures can head north of 100 degrees Fahrenheit, but this home has been designed to stay cool naturally. Previous owners used local limestone, cellulose insulation, and a heat-reflecting metal roof. The foundation for green had already been set when its new owners took on the task of renovating and using as many eco-friendly materials as possible. Louise Epstein is a fashion retailer and lives here with John Henry McDonald, a finance consultant. Joey and Knickers guard the property.
That's from Miss Joey.
Inside the main floor is a double-height living space with a lounge and dining area. Next door is the kitchen. On the second level, there's a home office for Louise, a music room and study for John Henry, along with a master bedroom and bathroom. Hi there, Emmanuel.
Hi, Emmanuel. Louise, nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Manuel John Henry, come on in this house.
Thank you. Pleasure meeting you. Who's this?
That's Mr. Knickers.
Come on in, Mr. Knickers. Come on in. Let's go. Time for a tour. This place is huge.
Yeah, oh, it measures 24 feet tall, 48 feet long, bow to stern.
It's incredible. And look at that view.
Yeah.
That's when we fell in love with the house.
2.5-story ceilings make the room seem cavernous, so they brought in some hardwood to warm things up.
We brought in this Brazilian redwood and brought, with the darker color, brought the view of the house on down.
It's a beautiful fireplace. What kind of fireplace is that?
It is a propane fireplace, and the fire comes up through the stones.
That's great. Very slick too. I love the design. The stainless steel is beautiful.
It really gives off heat.
Yeah.
And it's propane, so it's not those waxy logs. It's not wood burning.
You know, you look at this room and you see the ceilings that are 24 feet tall, and you think, my God, this thing must cost a fortune to keep cool, and that's just not so.
Is your air conditioner on full right now?
No.
No air conditioning
No.
on at all.
At all right now.
That's right.
It was on last night,
Yeah.
and so you're still feeling the coolness from last night, and here it is midday.
That heat-reflecting metal roof, along with recycled paper insulation in the walls, helps keep things cool, along with another, more traditional method.
Ceiling fan accounts for 4 degrees in temperature.
That's great. Even better, their electricity bill is half of what it was in their last home, which was 1,000 square feet smaller.
I'll show you one of our favorite spots.
Yeah. Well, I can see why it's your favorite.
What's fun about where we're sitting, and frankly, you're sitting in my favorite chair, and that's okay.
Thank you. I'm honored then. I'm honored.
Is you can
Yeah.
spin around and you can just be at one with nature.
Just off the living area is the guest bedroom.
Well,
Very
this,
nice.
this is a separate entity. This is a place that's quiet. This is a place that has one of the grandest views in the whole house.
It's a beautiful view.
What's wonderful is you can be lying in this bed. The minute your eyes open, all they see is this nature preserve. And it's pretty wonderful.
All right, so next we'll go check out the
Kitchen.
Kitchen?
Piece de resistance.
Okay, let's head there.
Kitchen.
After you. The kitchen is tucked away behind the main living space.
I love this kitchen, and I love to cook. We love to entertain, but I didn't like feeling segregated from the guests. So here I can cook, and the guests are right there.
The countertops are a local granite, and all the appliances are Energy Star rated.
That table over there is 100-year-old teak. There are 3 planks here.
And you can see the trestle underneath.
There's some beautiful detail work down here too. You've got steel construction. I see you polish some of your steel, and you've got the teak on top.
This entire table is from salvaged materials.
And as long as we're talking about stainless steel and salvaged, that big beam over there is an I-beam that was salvaged from another building.
And that's not decorative. That beam is holding up the ceiling.
We also see a lot of copper back here. This is beautiful.
I love this backsplash. It warms up the whole room, and it picks out the copper highlights in the granite.
Copper is naturally bug resistant. It can kill bacteria in 4 hours, compared to stainless steel, where it can live for more than a month.
My kitchen is my heaven. I wanted to get the most spectacular sink that you could get, so I've got this light. Is that great?
The light is in the end of it.
Yeah.
How do I pull it out?
Yeah, just like that.
And look at that, it's got an LED light in it.
Yes, is that fabulous?
That's great.
And it comes in so handy when you're washing dishes at 2 o'clock in the morning.
He still says that is the biggest waste of money I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is absurd.
These cabinets are beautiful.
It is solid wood made locally by a wonderful cabinet maker. This is called vertical grain juniper fir. In Texas, this grows like a weed. Like a weed.
So does that mean to say it's not wanted?
In fact, it's not wanted. Cedar is not native Texas. The cedar roots go down more than 50 feet and suck the water out of the ground and keep the native plants from flourishing. In fact, it crowds out all the native plants.
Yeah, they're gonna go anyway, so we must do something with it.
It's wood that we wish wouldn't.
Now it's up to the second floor.
This is a very important room in our lives. Louise and I spend an hour and a half, 2 hours every morning right here, except for Saturday and Sunday, where we go outside and sit on the outside deck. But this is it. A lot of coffee is consumed right here, my friends.
Well, this is great. These are really, really
Aren't
cozy.
they comfy?
Where'd you find these?
These are a Scandinavian chair, and they're like some really ugly shoes. I think they're so darn ugly, they have to be comfortable.
Just around the corner is something that John Henry is very proud of.
Oh, that's great.
When we started remodeling here, this was a washer and dryer. It was the ugliest piece of space in the whole wide world. One day Louise said, I know what to do. I'm going to put in a library. Just perfect.
And again, you've used the juniper up here as well?
Exactly.
Yeah, one more dead juniper.
You don't like the junipers in Texas, do you?
One at a time.
Right next door is John Henry's study. The bookshelves and desk are made of the same non-native juniper as the kitchen cabinets.
A couple of instruments in here.
Yeah, there's some guitars, and behind me is a poster from the days when I used to play. This is the live music capital of America, Austin, Texas. So I came down here to play live music, and the car broke down. I mean,
And you stayed?
The car broke down.
The car broke down.
The guitar should have broken
The
down.
guitar should have broken down.
That's you.
That's me.
Still have the mustache.
Absolutely. I still have the mustache.
Say, I had to give John Henry a little space that was his. And so I have less to do with this room than any room.
So this is, John Henry, this is your space.
This is my space.
You-
I hung the pictures, and she only changed them twice.
Oh, really?
A shared powder room connects a study to a home office for Louise. At the end of the hall is the master bedroom.
Oh, that's a nice sized room.
Before we bought the house, I was doing a lot of traveling, spent an inordinate amount of time in a hotel in Chicago, and that hotel was my haven. I thought, I want this bedroom to feel as luxurious as that hotel room. I want that whole spa feeling. I think we have the coolest bedtime reading lights. You can pull them down like that.
Isn't that cool?
Isn't that nice?
Just pull them down.
Yeah.
A little warm, but pull them down. And when you're done reading,
yeah, you just
push them up.
That's right. We've got a lot of windows. The sun blazes through directly from the east, and it tracks across the house, the southern side of the house. That brings a lot of heat. We've got aluminum rolling shutters that close off the room and create a beautiful atmosphere. So what's amazing is the energy you save. When these shades are closed, you can turn off the air conditioner in the middle of the day. This room is going to stay cool.
Just off the bedroom is a sleek master bathroom.
Oh, look at this.
Makes me feel like I'm on vacation every morning.
I believe it. You often see the his and her sink within the same vanity. You have his and her setups completely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. It's not only beautiful and spa-like, serene and peaceful, but it's energy efficient. We have a high-efficiency water heater. We've got low-flush toilets, shower heads.
And that cuts their water usage by around half.
We didn't like the cabinets. That is the front of the cabinets.
So what did you do?
I just had my cabinet maker replace the fronts, and then we got new knobs and painted them. I think a lot of times people think they have to replace their entire cabinet when it's really just what they're looking at, the fronts.
Yeah, refacing can be
a
third of the cost of replacing an entire unit, so it's great to
Absolutely.
always do that.
And there are holes at the top of this room to share in the skylight that's in the closet. So the closet brings in the light into this room as well.
That's your closet back there? May I look?
Yeah. The size of a small apartment.
His side, her side. And as you can tell, John Henry actually has more clothes than I have.
You know, there are people who live in apartments this size in New York.
Oh,
Just so you know.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Actually, when John Henry walked into the closet, that was the end. He had to have the house.
I had to have the house, yeah. Enough room for my bow ties.
And you can see another, not only the skylight in the closet, but a window in the closet. So wherever we can let natural light in.
So where can we go next?
Let's go outside.
Yeah?
Oh, it's hot outside.
Yes!
Yeah.
A spiral staircase takes you to a deck and a welcome patch of shade.
Oh, this is great. I love this.
This is metal on top here. It's normally used to stucco over.
Right.
But our architect cleverly put it up there, and we think it's lovely because it lets the sun in. And we spend a lot of time out here. We have dinner parties in the spring and fall.
So we're gonna take a look down there?
We are, but I'm gonna go grab something to protect me from the sun.
And I'm gonna follow her and change my shirt, tell you.
Okay, sure. Got a hat?
We do for you.
All right,
Just
cool.
for you.
Where are we going?
Coming this way.
Okay. Next stop is Louise's garden.
So what kind of plants do you have here?
Native Texas plants, and most of what you see we didn't plant. And by the way, I want you to notice this persimmon growing out of the 30-million-year-old rock. I mean, it is growing out of the rock.
It is. How does that root into rock?
I couldn't tell you, but this would be the good example of a drought-resistant plant when it grows in a rock.
Louise wanted a garden, but water is valuable around here. She decided to use a landscaping technique called xeriscaping. It means landscaping with slow-growing, drought-tolerant plants that don't need much water. If you want to try xeriscaping in your own backyard, you'll need to find out which plants are best suited to the climate. Wherever possible, plants that are native and drought-tolerant should be used. Xeriscaping is a great way to conserve water, lower your water bills, and cut down on hard work. Applying a layer of mulch helps to conserve water in the soil. And this kind of landscaping means using less fertilizer and pesticides. So, it's a win-win situation all around. Now we head down to the pool.
Well, look at this.
In this hot climate, it's important to keep the pool cool. This infinity edge pool is designed to do it naturally.
And that waterfall over there is the way the water cools off. The condensation creates a little bit coolness, so this water stays cool during the summertime.
And there's a holding pond on the other side, and it recirculates the water back in.
There's one more outdoor space with a beautiful limestone fireplace and another clever but simple way to keep things cool.
We have another awning that drops that shields us from the sun because we are facing west. And so we drop this awning.
Look at that. What a great idea. Extra shading from the sun.
Yeah. It's the difference between being able to enjoy this deck in the late afternoon and not being out here at all. What is amazing to me about this house and this whole, I would say it's this whole experience living here, is that you can live in total luxury and be green.
Yeah.
And what could be better than that?
Well, thank you so much for the tour. It really was wonderful. Thank you so much. It's just a beautiful place. From the modern luxury of Austin, Texas, we head to Northern Europe to a house that's the ultimate in flexible living. This home can expand in size, and it's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's called the Accordion House. We're in Sweden at Glasskogen. It's one of its most beautiful nature reserves. Glasskogen is about a 5-hour drive from Sweden's capital city, Stockholm. The nature reserve is home to pristine forests, crystal clear streams, and a house that looks a bit like an armadillo. It was built by architects Boris Eisler and Martha Lammers, who wanted a rural hideaway far from their busy city lives in Holland. It's off the grid, and it can do something very few other homes can do. It can be made bigger or smaller to conserve heat.
Coming here the first time, we very much realized that if we would ever want something in Sweden, if we would ever build something in Sweden, this was the place. You don't get a second chance like this. This is a one-off, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we took it.
This home is in 2 parts, the new addition and a renovated fisherman's cabin next door. Inside the addition, the main living space is open concept, with a compact kitchen, a dining area, and a lounge. Next door in the cabin, there's a cozy bedroom. For the bathroom, it's back to nature with a composting outhouse. And there's a hot tub on the deck. Inside the new addition, it's all about cutting-edge design and curves everywhere you look.
What we try to do with that is find a solution for the interior finish. That inner structure of the rib cage, if you wish, still will be exposed even after finishing it. We really like the idea of having the traces of the structure still visible. I think in general, you could almost say that it's a well-loved animal. It's alive. It doesn't not only move, and it doesn't look like an animal from the outside, but also from the inside. And we really like the beams to be sanded in this sort of bone shape. And as an inspiration, if you look back into the history and you see the work of Antonio Gaudí in Spain, in Barcelona, he also used that kind of really nice organic shape. And I think we're also inspired by his work.
The cladding is made from local pine, which has been left untreated except for the floor, which has been varnished. The kitchen may look basic, but there's everything you need to whip up a humble feast. And wash up afterwards.
For the water in itself, we have 2 systems. We have drinking water that is provided to us by our neighbors, and the water from the stream is being used for dishwashing here in the kitchen.
In the living room, the walls have been covered with reindeer skins. They're used for insulation by the Sami people who live in Sweden's far north. And in a tough climate, you make the most of what nature gives you.
They live with two things. They have ice and they have reindeer, and those 2 are the only ingredients basically that they can live off. They have these huge herds, but when it dies, they eat the meat, they recycle the bones and also the skins. Basically, their whole tents are built of recycled reindeers. That fascinated us. So as a sort of tribute, we wanted to have something like that, and it very well fitted our feeling for the living room, which should have been a sort of cozy area.
But ancient or modern, style doesn't take a back seat in this home. Look no further than the chandelier called Birdie.
Although it's really, really small, from the square meters we realized the space itself, especially sitting at this end of the house, looking back, is much bigger than the space actually is.
But Marcia and Boris were lucky to be able to build anything so close to the lake in the first place. Under Swedish planning regulations, it's difficult to build close to a lakeshore. But fortunately, building an addition was considered adding to an existing structure.
Basically, the old fisherman's cabin was the argument why we could build in the first place. And we thought it would be good to keep that. And it was a starting point of the operation of building and extending to it. And now it's a very cozy bedroom.
Like the main living space, there's a wood-burning stove. All the light in the home is provided by the solar panels on the cabin's roof. But what about the bathroom? Well, you don't get much more eco-friendly than this. A bathtub on the deck filled with water from the stream.
And the nice thing is that apart from this connection, which is just a simple connection, we do have an extension towards the little cabinet over there. And in the cabinet we have a divider, and with that we can also take the water into the house. So we have dishwashing water in the kitchen straight from the stream. This is actually one of the best features of the property. The best part is the evening, when it's total black sky, the stars are out, and we sit in here with a little sip of cognac and a cigar, and then enjoy being here and enjoying life.
But relaxing close to the stream wasn't enough for Boris. He wanted to live right over the stream.
And then at some point Boris said, let's make an extendable house. Let's make a house we can extend over the stream, so we can have we live above the stream and not just next to the stream. And I just answered him, you are totally crazy. You are nuts. This is not going to happen. But at some point, as we sort of had that discussion, as we were looking at it, we started sketching and sort of trying to find a way to solve that. And then at some point I said to him, but maybe if we do it like this, and that sentence makes a solution born.
There are a few important things on the construction of the house. First of all, of course, the foundation and the floor, because we have a normal floor, but also a piece that is moving in and out. So that was the first thing we had to sort of solve. And basically it's a wooden box. It's like a box for matches. If you slide it out, that's basically the principle of it.
So Boris gets his amazing expanding house, an extra 150 square feet that can be winched out over the stream. And that's about as far as Swedish planning regulations would stretch.
If you sit in this position, you almost feel like you can touch the stream underneath you, and still you're not outside. You're just well protected in the house, and the light and the scenery is changing during the whole day. So basically, you can just sit here, watch the light, watch the clouds, watch the colors changing.
And when winter comes, you winch it back in to create a double wall of insulation.
All the windows are hidden in the outer shell, so it's very well protected against the winter with snow and ice.
Boris and Marcia spent 3 years building their incredible expanding hideaway. They may have been forced to build small, but they've packed in some big ideas.
But most of all, I think it's a place that we created together, where we can be totally ourselves, totally happy. It's a safe haven, away from the rat race, away from the stressed lives we live back in Holland.
And by stretching more than their imaginations, they've built a truly unique green home.